I'm recording now, by the way.
I don't even know if these chords are within the right key.
I'm sure they are. I met a girl. Her name was Susanna. She's a Democrat. I'm a libertarian.
Oh no.
How is this gonna work? Susanna.
Oh, Susanna.
No, Susanna. That's fantastic, man. Oh, Susanna. Luke thought he'd start off with what would you call that? Musical intro.
A musical intro.
Yeah.
So there's this podcast called Two in Think Tank.
Uh-huh.
And they'll start off their podcast by going like boom, 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 boom,
yeah,
boom,
yes,
boom, boom, boom,
yeah.
boom.
Now basketball is my favorite. Nah.
And they'll both just like
out.
make sounds and whatever. And I was like, that's a fun idea.
Yeah, no, musical intro was good.
Yeah,
I'll bring
great.
a keyboard next time.
Yeah.
How you been, man?
I've been doing all right. Yeah.
I'm glad.
Been just going through everything, working.
Big ups on work, man. Get your work.
What about you, Prosper? Have you been the world's most busiest man?
I don't know if I'm the world's most busiest man, but my whole world is like right now just sports. Some
fair.
English Premier League. My team is doing shocking.
Oh no!
But the World Cup is actually, as we speak, it's this month. In a few days, it's like 9-10 days away.
Right around the corner, mate.
Yeah, man. So, I'm exciting. I'm really excited, man. Big World Cup, this one. So,
and Prosper, do you have something to tell our listeners?
Oh yeah, man. To our viewers, to our listeners, we're gonna have to figure out how we're gonna do the next episode of the quarterly report because
you're going to.
I'm going to Qatar, ladies and gentlemen. Here I am, just little old me, just a kid from Africa.
Going off to Qatar.
Going on the big plane to a big country, somewhere in the Middle East, watching football. Who could have thought, man? Who could have thunk it, as they say?
Maybe lots of people, maybe no one.
Not
Who knows?
me. They didn't believe in us. But God did.
Amen, brother. Amen.
That's a DJ Khaled thing.
Yeah. So maybe we'll, I don't know, get a guest host or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out.
Stay tuned. Yeah. Stay tuned.
Yeah, so last time it was the end of the quarter.
Correct.
And we forgot to do our one-time tradition.
What was our one-time?
Which is we rate the quarter that we had out of quarters.
Jeez.
So we could say like it's 2 quarters.
Yeah, 2 quarters out of... Yeah, all right. Did you do a fraction like 2.5 quarters out of...
Yeah.
That's messed up, though.
I mean, that's just 5/16, right?
Yeah, that's messed up, though. Jeez. Yeah, all right. Yeah.
I mean, people will say, I'd give it 3.5 out of 5 stars. So we just have a 4-star rating system.
Yeah. Then you just go back to the decimal thing. But now I'm saying 0.5 out of 5.
Yeah.
Right? So you have a fraction, and you have a fraction within that fraction.
3.5 out of 5.
So if I say 3.5, yeah, but it's like 3.5 out of 5, just like if you were to divide those two.
Oh, yeah.
But then if I go 3.5 over 5, now you have a fraction over a fraction. You have 3 wholes and half of a whole over
divided into 5 pieces.
Deep that. This is that education, that university education, ladies and gentlemen. Australia.
Oh, man.
But yeah, how did you rate that quarter then?
The previous quarter, I'd probably give it like 2 quarters. There wasn't really a lot of... Oh, wait. Was the boys that quarter? No, it was the previous quarter.
Previous quarter was the boys.
Yeah. There wasn't really anything that great, like, entertainment-wise. Prey was good.
Prey was really good. Forgot the lady's name, but fell in love with her.
Amber Mid-Thunder.
What a name. Amber Mid-Thunder.
Yeah, she's cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, not really heaps, to be honest.
Have you watched Severance yet?
Yeah, of course not.
Of course not, man. Because why would you even listen to your boy? Dude.
I'm sorry.
Like, because of Severance alone, because it was, what was the show that we was watching? Fate of the Winx. That was meh. You know, I remember liking it more in season 1. Season 2, I was, you know, I just didn't like it as much.
Yeah.
But I think it's just the gap that was between season 1 and season 2. But, no, I got introduced to the show Severance by our friend Karen.
Karen, yeah.
Karen, if you're listening, shout out.
Shout out to Karen.
Dude, that show is amazing.
Yeah. I've watched I did watch the first 5 minutes of the first episode where she's being asked all these questions, and I was like, this is spooky.
If you're but I don't know that you've watched enough. It's
already like unsettling because she's asked all these questions.
Yep.
She has no idea the answer to those questions, and then he says that it's a good thing that she doesn't know the answer to these questions, and they're like basic life questions that everyone should know about themselves.
Yeah.
It's like, it's a bit unsettling.
Yeah, I mean, you can tell people that, like, the first questions are like, you know, what's your mother's name, and what can you name any American cities and stuff like that? And she can't remember anybody
from, all this stuff.
Right?
It's like, okay.
But dude, man, as that show goes on, I kid you not,
she doesn't even know her own name, right?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, she
like,
didn't.
Do you know your name? And she's like,
and she pauses.
She's freaking out.
Yeah.
About that. And he's like, this has been successful. No,
that show, man, I rate it highly. Eventually, if you catch up, we're just going to have to do like spoiler reviews.
Yeah, for sure.
This thing. But, no, I like for that show alone, and what other shows have I been watching? I figured at some point, if we were to like think what our top 10 shows are, it's actually a lot more difficult than...
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's difficult.
Like now it's tough. I can name you my top 3 maybe.
Yeah, but once you get past 3, it's like...
So I can...
Where does
okay.
It all fit in?
If I told you to list just 10 shows you like, you could do that easily.
Oh, yeah, I could do that easily.
If I told you to put them in order...
Nope.
You'd struggle after a certain amount,
How do I rank these?
Exactly. So I think I can get to 5, and maybe we'll do it a bit later in the show, but Severance is now... I can confirm top 5 that I've ever watched.
Fair.
And it'll surprise you, the shows that it's beaten already. But
yeah, fair enough. And tuned. so does that influence the way that you would rate the previous quarter?
100%. 100. Like the muses that I live by, right? It sounds very sad, but I don't necessarily get off on the energy of others all the time, right? So for me, if I watch something that inspires me, that's just lifted my energy for like, I don't know how many months. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That, like, just watching that, the cinematography, the story, I'm just like, oh my gosh, what is this?
Yeah.
Like, I have enough life for the next couple months, but.
No, that's mad.
Yeah.
But, okay, so what would you rate the last quarter?
Are we doing decimals? No.
You could do decimals.
Let me give you out of 15.
I actually kind of would want to change mine, to be honest, to 3 quarters, because I just remembered when you said muses, I remembered that Sandman was a thing.
You loved that show.
I loved that. That show was like...
Yep.
For a whole week, I was just obsessed.
You really liked that show, didn't you? Yeah.
That's great. Anyway, yeah.
So you're saying 3 quarters?
3 quarters.
Yeah.
Out
so
of 15.
In that case, I'll do out of 16.
Out of 16, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, fair enough.
This last quarter, I'll give it a solid 12.8 out of 16.
Okay.
Yeah?
I'm trying to do
it's basically 3 quarters and a bit, but
3 quarters and a bit.
Yeah, is that 3 and a third? 3 and a quarter of a quarter?
Why not just 13 out of 16?
I don't like the 13. I don't
3.5, 16, and 3.5 quarters.
13 sounds like a high distinction. Is that a high distinction? Not close. It's still a distinction. 81%.
81%.
Yeah. So 13 out of 16 is 81%.
Yeah.
But
would you give it 81% or just the 79-ish% that you...
Oh, no.
Wait, what is...
I gave it an 80%.
12.8.
80% is what I'd give it.
Okay.
Yeah. So you would change yours to what again?
Oh, just 3/4.
All right. Good 75.
Raid the corner 3/4.
Yeah. Sandman saved the day.
Yeah, did.
That's awesome, man.
Anyway, so this quarter is a new quarter.
Wonderful.
We have October, the spookiest time of the year.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not just talking about tax time. Shout out to Mr. Sunday Movies.
Right.
He always says that in his podcast.
Yeah.
But he says that, he's like, it's the spookiest time of the year.
Who is
I'm not just talking about tax time.
Oh, jeez. Who is that?
He does the Weekly Planet and movie reviews and stuff.
Okay.
We had some pretty good like things come out. Like, have you seen Werewolf by Night yet?
No, I haven't watched that yet.
It is
you guys
brilliant.
You're rating it really high, you know?
As a special, like it's just like some of the like graphical effects weren't great, but like the cinematography, the characters, the overall like vibe was just like beautiful.
Really?
Like it was just a beautiful little special. It was only like an hour long. It wasn't like a whole movie. It wasn't like a mini series like She-Hulk.
Dude, I don't want to talk about She-Hulk, man.
I really liked the Daredevil episode, to be honest, today. That was a good episode.
That's because the Daredevil... Like, honestly, man, it was... I don't know how else to say it, but, like, She-Hulk is amazing. That show was not.
Fair.
That's it. That's fair to say, right?
Yeah, you're allowed to say that.
Okay. Because that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, mate. Yeah, a lot of stuff's happened this quarter. We watched Don't Worry, Darling.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that movie by Olivia Wilde.
Yeah.
Just happened with the sound. That was
yeah. That was how did you find that movie?
I thought that it was it was what it was trying to be. Like, it was a thriller, and it was mind-bending, and it was like intriguing and interesting and sort of mysterious. But if you're looking for something that's going to blow your mind and absolutely like just change your whole worldview, this is not the movie for that. It's just like kind of interesting and fun. I think it was worth watching, but nothing like adding to the to this cultural zeitgeist. It's not a cultural touchstone.
Yeah, interesting.
We're gonna think back 20 years later and be like, oh my gosh,
what kind of masterpiece?
Don't Worry, Darling was a great movie.
Well, like, I'm of the opinion, rather I should explain my headspace. I love dystopias, and I've just made the discovery that those are my favorite types of shows and movies.
Right.
So for me, that movie was amazing because it was just another person's interpretation of what a dystopia could be.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is, but I like seeing how sinister someone's mind can get about the reality that other humans can cause on other humans.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, I watched that, I'm like, geez, that's but like it presents like a really clear antagonist for me, you know? So
I think it was good. Like, I think it was a good movie. Like, it was well made. It was well produced. The mystery was like hidden well enough until the right time.
Yeah.
But then the ending was sort of anticlimactic because it was like, oh, that's it. Yeah. And then it's just like, okay, see ya.
Yeah. Like, I'm not saying you didn't say it was a good movie, but I remember you were talking about like you mentioned like how it had plot holes and stuff like that at the start.
Yeah, there were some. Yeah.
I was like, what is he talking? What are these plot holes? But now I'm like, I've stepped away from it enough to go, okay, I see how some people might have questions about, like, you know, why one thing applies in one situation and another situation, that same thing doesn't apply. There you go. Yeah.
It's inconsistent.
But nonetheless, a good movie.
Yeah. I liked it.
I don't think there's going to be a sequel.
they probably want there to be, but
it's a funding thing.
Yeah.
Olivia Wilde's, and maybe
and all the drama around that movie, man.
It's a funny lady, man. I don't know.
It's so strange because I had written a note in one of the previous episodes that I didn't get around to like actually mentioning about Jason Sudeikis, her husband, handing the divorce papers
in
the middle of her press conference on the movie.
Tell us what happened.
Like she was doing a press conference on the movie, and then he had sent divorce papers to her because he was married to her.
Wait, this was for this movie?
I'm pretty sure it was for this movie, or she was doing some sort of press conference. I don't know why. But she was doing some sort of press conference, and then for some reason, the person delivering the papers decided that it'd be a great idea to deliver it to her in person while she's on stage, and she, for some reason, decided that it would be a great idea for her to open it on stage and read out on stage what she was receiving from this person.
Yeah.
And she's like, it's divorce papers from my husband, Jason Sudeikis.
Yeah, dude, I am convinced, because that looks a certain way when you watch it, but I am convinced that husband, Jason Sudeikis, he was trying to make a point.
You reckon?
Well, like...
Do you reckon he chose to send it to them, or do you reckon she already had them and then got her assistant to bring it out?
100% he chose to send it to her at that stage.
Time.
Yeah, well, like I think he was just trying to make a point.
Interesting.
And
I don't know enough about the situation.
Neither. Yeah. I'm speculating, mind you. I don't know Jason or Olivia, but I assume it's just one of those situations where it's like you're trying to make an example of how, or you're trying to shame someone.
If it was about this movie, then it'd be like, well, because she's dating like Harry Styles and stuff.
Is she?
Yes. That's how he got into the movie.
No.
Yeah, well, that's what people say.
Oh, like, no, you don't even have, people don't have to say. That's exactly right.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, and a lot of people hated on Harry Styles for his performance. They reckon he did a bad job. I didn't think he did a bad job. I think his character was good.
He did really well.
Yeah. But apparently he was a bad actor, so... But I think people were just salty because she was dating him, and so Shia LaBeouf got booted, and then he got in Shia LaBeouf's place. Yeah.
Hollywood's an interesting place, man.
It's great.
Dude.
It's interesting, yeah.
So she's dating him.
Yes.
What's my brother's name?
Harold Styles.
Harold Styles.
And he's a lot younger than her, too, which is...
He's like 30, isn't he?
Yeah. Yeah, 30, maybe 28 or something.
There you go.
She's like 40, probably.
Really?
I think so. I'm not sure. Maybe I have my phone in my hand.
I've seen it happen.
Harry Styles.
Not in person. I've seen it happen, though.
He is 28. I got it right. Yeah. And Olivia Wilde is...
I want to say 36.
38. 10 years older.
I was close.
Yes.
I'm not mad at that. Yeah. Good on Harry Styles.
But I don't know. I guess like when I saw the news, I only wrote it down because I like Jason Sudeikis' work.
Okay.
Because
what's he do?
He was he's like a comedian, but one of my favorite pieces of his work was the Marvel show on Disney Plus. It was like a Fox Marvel thing. It's called Hit Monkey. It's like an anime cartoon like thing, and he voiced the assassin character that basically like dies in the first episode, and then his ghost like haunts this monkey and teaches this monkey how to be an assassin.
Yeah, great. That's not my type of show at all.
It was just so it's very like I don't know if you've heard this term, like camp. Like it was very like just like silly and wacky.
Yeah, okay.
But it was like super fun to watch.
Rick and Morty kind of style?
No, not Rick and Morty. It's more like it's I don't know how you would like I don't think there's anything else like it. Like it's lighthearted, but it's also like they're on a mission to take down this guy because he's like oh, like these guys basically he goes out and does an assassination.
Yeah.
And then he finds out that he's been played, and the guys who hired him for the assassination are going to kill him anyway. And so he escapes into the snow, into like those hot pools, and then and then this monkey like comes up and this like tribe of monkeys take him into this like hot spring.
Okay.
They're the Japanese hot spring monkeys.
Yeah,
I forgot what they're called. Macaques.
Sure.
And so this tribe of macaques take him on, but this one monkey is like, we need to get rid of him. He's a bad person. And they're all like, get lost, shut up. And then macaques talking to each other is weird. But then he's like training because he knows these guys are chasing him and hunting him.
Yeah.
He gets killed, and then his ghost finds this macaque, and they kill all of the macaques that are in that tribe protecting him. And the only one that's left is the monkey that was saying that he's such a horrible person. But it watched him train like to fight against these guys, and then it used those abilities, those skills that it watched him like use, and used that to kill all of these guys that killed him. And so it's on a mission to get revenge on these guys who booked the assassination and killed the assassin, because they also killed all of his tribe.
Listen, can I just say, I find it fascinating how two people can like two completely different things, man. Because if I heard that synopsis, if I heard that, I'm not watching that, man. I don't care. Monkey with a ghost. But Luke, you were fascinated by this,
mate.
man.
It's so fun.
Yeah, huh? Yeah. It is. I believe you. You don't even have to convince me. No, but like it's.
Like, it sounds interesting, right? Like, it sounds like, what the heck?
No, but I get.
It's like wacky and like, what is gonna happen?
I think that disconnect with me is the same disconnect you have if I was to explain like the Premier League.
Right.
Like you'd watch and like, oh, it's exciting. A team won, but like, no, the stakes were high. This team's only, you know what I mean? Like you get lost. You're like, okay, thanks.
Yeah, I get you.
But no, good for them. Good for the macaques and the sword and the assassins.
Anyway, so Jason Sudeikis voices the assassin in that.
Okay.
And so like, I like his work, but I don't know what he's like as a human being.
Nah, we don't know what any of these people are like.
Maybe he was trying to make a point to Olivia Wilde.
I reckon that's what it was, because think, right, if you're ending things amicably with your partner, you're not trying to make an example out of them.
No. But he claimed that he didn't know that they were going to read it out on stage what they were receiving.
Well, I think oh, right. Interesting. Okay. So he gave the note.
He gave it to someone else, and then they sent it off to her, and then they handed it to her on stage, and he didn't know anything about it. But, anyone can claim anything, really.
Nah, I don't believe that. I'd like to go with the story in my head that he was trying to cause kerfuffle.
Drama, yeah.
Exactly. Just get her dazed on stage.
Yeah. Potentially.
Hollywood is dirty, man.
Yeah, it is.
I don't want any part of it.
Fair enough. That was an interesting tangent.
Macaques, man. Yeah. Thanks.
Oh, mate. There's so much stuff.
Tell me more.
That's happened. Did you know? Okay, so the month before that?
Sure.
The month before that, the last month. What am I saying?
This man. Long day, Luke?
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
It's been a long day, man.
The month before.
The month before.
Became the day.
What month is it now? It's November. So October, September, August. In August, there were 2 Elizabeths in charge in the UK.
How do you figure?
Queen Elizabeth.
Didn't she die?
And Liz Truss.
But, snap.
Yes. And then the Queen died. That's 1 Elizabeth gone.
And
then Liz Truss last month resigned after 40 days. And so, old mate, what's his name? I'm trying to look for his name.
He's his ethnicity was Indian, wasn't he?
Yes, he's the first Prime Minister of colour.
His name is Rishi Sunak.
Yeah. Yeah, first person of colour to be the PM of the UK.
Shout out.
Good on him. Yeah, it's good.
I thought Boris was going to get back in, man.
Oh, really?
I really did. But he pulled himself out the race. I was like, oh, interesting.
Yeah, understandably. No, yeah, so Liz Truss resigned and Rishi Sunak took over. Did you hear that Adidas cut their ties with Kanye West?
Yeah, dude.
Didn't he from what I understand, he basically said on a podcast or something, I could say something anti-Semitic and Adidas still couldn't drop me.
I think that was
what made them drop me.
That was the straw that broke the camel's back. It was he said something like that challenged them, and then they just, we got to get rid of this dude.
Ladies, mate.
Yeah, gone. I'm trying to find Yeezys on the low though, so if you or a homie or anyone knows where to get cheap Yeezys, please let me know.
I'm sure if I see them, I'll let you know, but I probably won't see them.
Yeah, you won't see them, man. It's still expensive.
I'm not one to look for Yeezys.
That's crazy.
It's not my vibe, you know.
Here I am keeping track of everything.
This quarter we also, this month rather, Xi Jinping began his third term as Chinese president. So that's fun.
Don't you just love democracy? Like how he,
got voted in?
Yeah, you got voted in and didn't at all force a third term by everyone who loves him. And just his fair treating of the Chinese people.
The Chinese people, yeah. I love democracy.
Just amazing.
Democracy.
Yeah.
And you were telling me the other day, apparently China and Russia are starting a gold-backed reserve currency.
So I'm looking for this everywhere I can. I just saw it on Rumble, and then I saw it on a report that I read through, but everything seems to be taken down now.
Interesting.
Because when they're doing these conferences and these they're only aired in China or whatever the case is, right? So if you look for it on YouTube, you won't find it. You know what they're saying. You don't know what they're doing. But yeah, man, I was just looking at them because the whole thing with the war now is
the war in Ukraine. Yeah.
Yeah. War in Ukraine. I'm kind of understanding just how much is at stake.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? And so it only makes sense that those two countries who are the superpowers of, let's call it the East, would try to,
if it was an East versus West
scenario, would try to lay claim of that region so that people aren't backing the US dollar.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. So there's one thing that I found says that they may be working towards that as a primary reserve currency to dethrone the dollar as a primary reserve currency of the world.
Yeah.
But a lot of experts are saying that it won't achieve that goal.
It's hard to beat the US dollar, man.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, China does have a lot of resources, though.
They're also critically in debt.
Yeah, fair enough.
It's just one of those things where it's I don't know, just looking at it, I don't even think they believe in their currency that much. Probably why they want to create a new one. I'm watching this YouTube channel it's either Business Basics or Economics Explained, who explains that Chinese citizens aren't able to withdraw more than $50K per year.
Jeez.
$50K US dollars, I should say.
Oh my gosh. What if you want to buy a house or something?
So I think it's out of the country. You can't take it out of the country.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry, I should have clarified that.
So it has to stay in the... Oh, wow.
Yeah, so if you want to take money out, you can, but a maximum of $50K USD per year. So that sounds oh, dude, for you and me, that's fine. But if you're a millionaire who's built his wealth in China, it's going to take you years to get all your wealth out, right?
Can't take it out, yeah.
Can't do it. So that's where you look at it and go, oh no, so that, their currency doesn't just drop. They put a limit on what these people can take out.
How are they going to buy all this gold to back it if they don't, if they're in so much debt? That's insane.
I imagine they've stocked up reserves. Well, they have deals with this Belt and Road Initiative where they have the rights to mine, for example, in African countries, right? So they'll build infrastructure in Kenya, train stations and stuff like that. and then they'll sign a lease for X amount of years, where that might allow them the rights to mine and just do whatever they want for, 10, 20, 30 years or whatever the case may be. So maybe that's where they're going to get it from, right? Offer a free upgrade of infrastructure. We get to mine your natural resources.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's...
China's making moves, man. It's crazy.
That's very sneaky.
They're forgiving a lot of debt as well. Like I think they did that for, like where I'm from, Tanzania. They did that a couple years back. If it wasn't China, it was the U.S. I was a bit young then, so I didn't follow what all this stuff was. But yeah, man, like those are the tactics that a lot of these countries are doing. It's like they'll, forgive debt. They'll offer to build free infrastructure, that kind of thing. And in return, you get, so that's the stuff that China's doing. Man,
it's crazy. It's just like, it's really funny because, I was at work. I currently, since last time on the podcast, I think I was talking about how I'd lost my job.
Right.
And at the moment I work in a steel cutting place.
Yep.
The guy that works there, he's been there for 20 years.
Jeez.
He's like probably 60, almost 60.
Okay.
So he's very old fashioned.
Yeah.
And him and one of the customers that had walked in and was talking about stuff.
Right.
They were complaining. They're like, oh, it seems like everyone's complaining about the war in Ukraine and saying they're blaming it on everything. They said that the timber shortage is because of the war in Ukraine. Yeah. And the steel shortage, they're saying that's from the war in Ukraine.
Yeah.
And they're saying this and that and blah, 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 all this stuff.
Yeah.
And then, like, I told my dad about it. He's like, do they realize that Ukraine, like, supplies a lot of steel around the world? And they had one of their steel plants blown up. And so now China has to provide steel for a lot of the world.
Yeah.
And so what do you think they're going to say when they're supplying all of Europe?
Well, yep.
And then Australia goes and says, hey, China, can we have some steel? They're going to be like, yeah, but we don't have that. Yeah. So you have to pay extra
they'll mark it up.
Get it. Yeah.
Well, that's where it's kind of like,
oh, but I don't understand why they're blaming on the war in Ukraine. Yeah, it's a freaking war, man. Like, what do you think is going to happen?
Well, like, I found
resources are going to be down.
100%. And are they the biggest exporter of grain?
I wouldn't know.
Yeah.
But
I believe that is also the case, that they're the biggest exporter of grain, like the Ukraine themselves. I'm like, oh, geez, like.
And if we're boycotting stuff from Russia too, it's like that's gonna, like, Russia's a big country that provides a lot of stuff. Like, we have a global economy. We don't just live in a bubble.
Exactly.
And I don't think people realize that.
Yeah. No. Well, it's like one of those. I understand, because the issue goes both ways. It's easy to just kind of blame Russia and say that this is like a Russia thing, but it's like, no, literally the U.S. said that we're gonna park our bus right at your doorstep. It's in trying to get the Ukraine to join NATO, right? Yeah. Like they don't call it like a military alliance, but that's technically what it is. It's like sharing those kind of resources and stuff, right? So obviously Russia's not going to look favorably upon that, and it's going to cause the war. So
and even if Russia does supply for the world still, like, to some places, they'll probably bring their prices up because they'll be like, well, you guys don't like us. You don't like what we're doing.
Well, that's what's happening with the price of gas right now, isn't it? Well, I'm paying $2.44, $2.45 for diesel per liter.
Oh, mate.
You're paying roughly the same for petrol if you're paying 98.
I'll try and get 91, and I'll go to, like, the cheap places. It's like $1.70.
Yeah, Costco and that's a smart idea.
It's hard to find, and
And it's not as easy as, like, just saying, oh, let's get our oil from somewhere else, because then that's going to cause a dispute with that country and Russia and that kind of thing. So I just found it, like, reading up on it now, I realized just how complicated it is. And it's just...
Global economies are a very interesting system.
Well, it's why countries today don't want to go to war.
Yeah.
It's like it is so messy, it's crazy. Which is kind of the reason I think... And I don't know how much you want to, like, stay on this topic, but China and Taiwan, I predict that's, like, in the next, if not 5, 10 years,
What are you predicting?
Like China's gonna take over Taiwan. Yeah. Like forcibly.
Yeah. I read up on that. It's so messy, man. Because they're like, it's one of those things where it's like, there's one person who's like bullying someone else, and everyone just has to be like, what do we do? Like, what's going on? And they're like, you have to be part of you're part of my group. You have to be here. And they're like, I don't like you. I don't want to be around you. You have to be here. You're part of, and it's like, what the heck is going on?
And that's where it's like messy with Ukraine as well, right?
Yes.
Because it's like
that's the eastern region.
That eastern region, sure, they claim Russia and stuff like that.
We're Russian,
But the rest of it's like, no, we have nothing to do with them.
Ukraine.
Like even just like the language, Ukrainian and Russian. This YouTube channel, Lang Focus, he talks about like the lexical similarities between the two. Oh, yeah. Something like 65%. Like it's less than 70%. Though they sound similar. Yeah. But they're just different languages, you know?
Yeah. Because a long time ago, they would have come from like similar like backgrounds. Yeah. But over time, your language evolves and changes.
Exactly. Yeah. But I just find that interesting. But I'm of the opinion that, China's going to take Taiwan in the next 5 to 10 years. I think right now it's just a matter of them, they can't compete militarily with the U.S. yet.
Yeah, and U.S. really backs Taiwan, don't they?
Yeah, and the U.S. wouldn't just all the way start the war. The U.S. wouldn't start the war.
Oh, no.
They would want China to start
self-defense,
it. Exactly. Hence the Nancy Pelosi going to Taiwan situation.
Did you know that an intruder like attacked Nancy Pelosi's husband
Paul Pelosi
in his home? With a hammer.
They say attacked.
Oh. What happened?
The police tapes aren't being released.
Oh.
Yeah. The original report was that they were talking and Paul let the guy use his bathroom.
That's strange.
Yeah. They were both in their underwear kind of thing. At the first you think it's like a gay thing, but it's like not. It's like apparently they knew each other.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it was like, it's one of those things where like, I thought it was like, that he was cheating and, that kind of thing. But it's the reports thus far are just saying that it wasn't like this direct attack where this man was, basically it's up in the air because we're not getting anything from the police reports.
But he had apparently he had a hammer. Where do you get a hammer from someone's bathroom?
And there were pictures released. I was watching the PBD podcast and they had Dinesh D'Souza.
Yeah.
And he broke it down really well. So like if anyone wanted to like get someone's opinion on it, maybe him, because he worked in politics for a bit, but they came to the conclusion, a lot of people just come to the conclusion that we don't know enough about what's happening here to say that this man actually attacked Paul Pelosi. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I haven't.
Perhaps let me throw it like this. If someone attacked you, would you let them use your bathroom?
No.
It's weird, right? I don't know. Like I read that. I'm like,
that's strange.
So this is a lot more of a different.
In terms of like world politics stuff, did you see the stuff about like North Korea showing off all their muscle, like shooting missiles into the air?
Yeah,
that was a bit.
I think it's. I don't know. Like, do you think it could be them kind of, because for North Korea, their big brother is like a China, like compared to like Australia's big brother is like a USA kind of thing, right? Like militarily and economically, there's a country we can say we're backed by, would come to our aid. It'd be them. For North Korea, it's roughly the same thing. Do you think it's them kind of exercising the same military prowess on South Korea? Would that even be a thing? Do they want to take over?
I don't know. I'm not sure, to be honest. I haven't looked into it enough.
It's tough, man. But it's just crazy. Like, you're shooting Was it missiles that they were shooting?
I think so. It was ballistic missiles.
There you go.
Let me North Korea. In the news. Yeah, they fired a flurry of missiles and people thought they could be doing nuclear tests as well.
Yeah, right.
So, yeah, like just regular missiles, but I mean, I say just.
Yeah.
Like it's a missile.
It's the same tests. Well, it has the same kind of vibe as the China shooting missiles in Taiwan territory. It's like, oh, these are tests.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Oh, because it's sort of like when they launched it up, people in Japan were being warned because the trajectory that it went, like when they launched it up, they went, oh, that's sort of heading in Japan's direction.
Interesting.
People will want to like evacuate and like hide and stuff in Japan.
Yeah.
But it's very like bizarre.
That's crazy, man. Well, like, what came of that then?
I don't think anything really happened.
So they're just doing it for the sake of doing it.
I don't know. I'll have to look into it more.
Yeah.
and we can maybe talk about it next podcast. To be honest.
That's crazy.
But yeah, it's
No, but come to think of it, dude, a lot is happening in just the world in general.
Yeah, like global politics. You mean, or just like
global politics? Well, like we had the Masa Amini situation. Yeah. Like that was insane.
It was pretty, it was pretty bad. And
then they're still kind of going through their thing there.
In Iran,
yeah, exactly. And it's just one of those things where you look at it, I'm like, man, this war business, I'm not a fan.
BTS, the K-pop band.
What happened to them?
They actually have stopped doing music because all of them are now in military service. Do you know about that?
No.
Yeah.
What nationality?
South Korea.
Really?
Yeah. Pretty sure.
Military service?
Yep. I don't know if it's like mandatory or if they chose to do it. But yeah. So they're going on a hiatus because they're doing military service.
No, you're right. This was like 3 weeks ago.
Yeah. And also Elon Musk acquired Twitter.
Shout
out. Walked in with a sink and he said, let that sink in.
Let that sink in.
You know, man.
That guy's awesome, man. I like him. I like Elon, man. I know you don't like him.
I think it's not that I don't like him. Yeah. I don't like when people idolize him because I'm like, he's just a regular dude who, like, he's clever, but he's not like some super genius that everyone thinks he is. Well, it's not like, oh, what would Elon Musk do? Like, what idea would he have? It's like he's got ideas about things, but it's not like he's informed by experts just as much as any other like leader. I
think the draw with me is that he strikes me as a logical thinker, and at the very least, he knows how to grow businesses. Yeah, PayPal, eBay. I think eBay.
I like that he
Tesla
is someone who is genuine and he's not afraid to be himself. Yep. But he is a bit of an idiot. like not an idiot. Like Elon. He's just like he's a bit of a goof. Yeah. Like he'll goof around. Like I listened to the Full Send podcast with him as the guest, and I was like, he's like. He seems like a nice dude and whatever, and like he's got some interesting ideas. I wouldn't agree with all of them, but like he thinks a lot about things, like you were saying, like a logical thinker. But he's always like making stupid jokes, and like some of them land, some of them don't. But it's just like,
Well, I
like
get what
how
you're
he's
saying.
genuine, but it's like, sometimes he'll make a joke and he'll be like, and I'm like, dude, it's not funny.
No, I love it.
That wasn't even a joke. What do you mean?
I love it. Just,
like, he's lighthearted. It's lovable, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, not everything he says is fun. He's just having fun, man.
I do like that he has fun.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But no, I like the fact that he bought Twitter, man. And he fact-checked something that the White House said the other day.
Oh, right.
Which is hilarious.
Interesting.
Can I see this?
What did the White House say? I didn't know the White House had a Twitter account.
The gas price claim. So they said something about the price of gas that was like, oh, this is the okay. Right now, the most common gas price at U.S. stations is $3.19 per gallon. That's what President Biden tweeted.
Right, POTUS.
So they fact checked him and said, no, it's actually $3.80. So I don't know where this $3.19 is coming from. I just thought that was fun.
That's a pretty big difference if it's per gallon.
Per gallon, man.
That's fair enough. I'd be annoyed too.
I like that they did.
Imagine if the government was like, the most common petrol price is $1.50.
Yeah.
And you look at every single petrol station, you're like,
it's $1.75. What are you doing? You're lying to us.
Well, no, the most common nowadays, I only ever see twos.
Yeah.
Two.
It's ridiculous, man.
At least.
Well, like I saw that, sorry, accidentally clicked on a video. I saw that, I was talking to my friend and he was talking about like the highest gas prices right now are in California. And doing the math, let me just see. California gas prices. It was like the same, if not slightly less than us per gallon. Okay, here it is. I found something. California's gas prices, blah, 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 blah.
Right, because a gallon is not the same as a liter. It's like fairly different.
Exactly. It's like 4.5?
5
gallon liters. No, 3.8. 3.8. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, just doing that conversion. Okay, it's a bit much now. The mathematics, 5.
But then you got to convert the Australian dollars to US dollars.
Yes. Yeah. Well, we did all of that. And I wish you were there, man, because I did deeper mathematics. Maybe we can do it now. Yeah. Bear with me. All right. Regular gas is 5 in California. 5.452. Premium is 5.8. And then mid-grade is 5.654. Diesel is 6.291. So let's just look at
$1.43 per liter in US dollars, though.
Exactly. So let's just let me look at diesel here. 6.291 divided by 3.8, which is, we're looking at, my gosh, I can't believe I put a comma over there. What kind of guy am I? $1.65 US and $1.65 per liter US to AUD. So this is what they're paying. They're paying $1.65 per liter of diesel. Yeah, same as the Australian dollar, $2.50. So in the US right now, premium diesel costs, is it premium diesel? Just diesel, not even premium, just diesel costs $1.65, which is $2.54 Australian cents. Right. It's not that different from here. We're paying $2.45. I've seen something like the place I go to is $2.40 because obviously you don't want to find the expensive places. Everyone's going to avoid that.
No.
But yeah, it goes that high. So we're experiencing nationwide, I imagine, what they're experiencing in one state.
In one state, yeah.
Pretty insane.
Fair enough. That's pretty.
So you don't fact check them.
Yeah. Wow. Moving on.
Sure.
Okay, so some kind of a few things happened around like Halloween time.
Okay.
And I was like, man, that sucks.
What happened?
So like, where is it? There was a big like crowd surge. At like a Halloween festivity in Seoul in South Korea, and 155 people died.
Can you explain what that was?
So it was like a big, massive crowd of people, and there were so many people in like in the area that they were holding the festivities for Halloween, that people in the crowd were like being cramped and like crushed by other people to the point that they couldn't breathe.
Wow.
And so 155 people died just from like a crowd surge, like there being too many people in one space.
Yeah, okay. So it was that packed that it was like body to body.
Yeah, I think so. Like it's similar to what happened at that rapper's concert.
Travis Scott.
Travis Scott, yeah.
Yeah.
Similar to that. Yeah.
Yeah, because I just remember seeing it on the news, and like I didn't understand, but like I knew that it was a big thing because they said at the time it was something like 30 reported being treated with like life-threatening injury or whatever. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Jeez, from Halloween.
It's insane. Yeah.
But
and there was also a bridge in India that collapsed, and that killed a lot of people as well.
Really?
Yeah. And there was a medicine that got contaminated in Indonesia, and there were a whole lot of kids that had got kidney-related issues, and that killed them as well. It's really sad.
That's really sad, man.
Yeah. So,
yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Damn.
We also lost Robbie Coltrane. So he's famous for being Hagrid in Harry Potter.
No.
Yeah.
Did he pass away?
Yeah. Yeah. You're a wizard, Harry.
Yeah, you're a wizard.
Yeah.
Robbie, what's his name?
Robbie Coltrane. So he passed away in October, sadly. Coltrane. Yeah.
Was he an older fella?
Yeah.
1950, so 72.
Yeah, 72.
Man.
Yeah, man. Sad.
Just literally 2 weeks ago. 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, 3 weeks ago.
That's crazy. I didn't know that.
Oh, to completely change
tone.
Tone. Okay, so I'm trying to figure out what theme to go with. So in terms of like technology stuff, it's two interesting things.
Yeah.
You know Meta?
Yes.
Meta, the company.
Lost a lot of money.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
They are launching the Quest Pro. So they have the Meta Quest, which is like it used to be called the Oculus
but now it's Meta.
Yeah. They are launching the Quest Pro.
Okay.
Which is apparently going to be special and better and whatever.
Uh-huh.
But that'll be like a standalone VR device that's even better than the normal Quest.
Yeah.
But in other news, the European Parliament passed a law that means that all tech companies have to have universal cable chargers, and Apple agreed to comply with that.
Yep.
And so basically the European Parliament basically made it so that I guess iPhones are going to have USB-C chargers.
So
I think that's a good thing.
This is tough, right?
Yeah, why? Explain.
Because do you support, right, and it's going to sound like the classic thing, this liberty, the government enforcing a rule by which all tech companies should adhere to? Because this is a revenue stream for Apple. And they're saying that Apple, you can't make money off of the lightning port. But then there's also the big tech thing where Apple's been dominating the phone market for God knows how long.
Yeah.
But they're making money. It's they're a company. That's what they do. They choose to charge people for their products.
I think that creating I think that completely obliterating competition by making all of the chargers unique to your device is a little bit it's restrictive, because it means that if I'm producing this product, I am excluding anyone from creating anything that hasn't been approved by me. And Apple seems to be like that with all of their stuff.
Wait,
apps on the App Store,
yeah,
you have to send it through to Apple and it has to be approved through all the processes and stuff.
Right.
Whereas on the Google Play Store, you get all these degenerate apps that are just what the heck is this?
But it's there, right?
And it's good, it's good to have regulation and stuff. I think it works for Apple. And at the same time, I can see the frustration with someone who might want to, I don't know, change the back end settings of their phone, and they have an Apple device and they have to use some workaround or some janky method of like doing custom programs that do an automation.
Yeah.
Like shortcuts only came a few updates ago.
Yeah.
Whereas if you had like a Samsung phone, you could put like a program on that would just like do all that stuff for you and create shortcuts.
But that to me tells me buy a Samsung phone. You know?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like...
But I think like having I think it's convenience as well. Because if someone has a charger, right? And you're like, hey man, do you have a charger?
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, I have a charger, but I don't know if it's going to charge your phone.
Right.
Because I have a charger for my phone.
Yeah.
And do we have the same brand of phone?
Uh-huh.
It's a bit like, wouldn't it just be easier if everyone had the same charger?
But everyone's paying the same guy. Because I think, let me look at the USB-C patent.
Yeah.
Who owns that? Okay, so it's a patent. Is USB-C patented trademark? Yeah.
Because like you don't have to go to a petrol station and be like, oh well, my car has, like, you do have different like types of fuel, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it's like you get to choose which one goes in your car, and some cars will say, oh, we recommend this, but you can put the type of fuel that your car takes.
Yeah.
But it's like, it's not like you have to go to a certain brand of petrol station to fill up your car. And it's not like you have to plug into a special type of plug to charge your laptop, whatever.
I understand what you're saying. I see it as like two different platforms. It's like I have a Tesla and you have
a petrol car.
Like a Land Cruiser. Right? Like, they're different platforms. They essentially do the same things in different ways, right? Get you from point A to point B, people carrier, whatever the case is, but they allow you to do different things. Should I get frustrated at the Land Cruiser owner because I'm not able to siphon fuel off of his car and put it into my Tesla kind of thing? It's like, well, like it makes sense, right? Because it's like you're saying, like, I just need, like with a phone example, it's like, I just want to charge my phone. Yeah. But it makes sense because if the USB-C thing is patented, and I don't know who's patented to, it means Apple has to pay that fee to use USB-C every year. Yeah. But
which they do for their laptops.
Right.
Which is like,
okay, but
if
Lightning,
they're using it for their laptops, why wouldn't they use it for their phones?
Why wouldn't they? But Lightning, they
use it for their iPads.
They use it for their, exactly. And then they chose to divert from, they've basically been going all wireless since, was at the iPhone 7 when they removed the 3.5 head jack. Yep. They stopped paying that patent. So in a way, it's like, all right, they're cutting costs and they're making money, and they found a way to do it.
Because they made $300 headphones rather than $15 headphones.
So, like, the only thing is, like, you're punishing a company for making a successful product. Like, people are buying Lightning cables.
But it does beg the question, is the way that they're making money ethical? Like, if I create a product and then I restrict you so that you have to buy my other product that fixes the problem that I created by removing a certain feature of the previous iteration, then is that, yes, I'm making money and being successful, but is that a fair way to treat a customer? Because if, let's say, okay, I work in a steel shop. If I am like cutting steel for someone and then I go to one customer and he says, I want 7 meters of flat bar, and I give him 6.9 meters, and then he comes back to me and he's like, oh, you gave me 6.9 meters, and I'm like, oh, you know what? I have this great solution. I have this special machine that will actually tack on some more steel so that you will have your full 7 meter length, but you've got to pay me $100 to use that machine. And then he uses it and he puts it on. It's like, hang on, last time I came to the shop, I asked for 7 meters and you gave me 7 meters. Now I'm paying the same price for a 6.9 meter length, and you're getting me to pay an extra $100 just to get extra added back on. Why can't I just do, like, do you understand what I'm saying?
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Like, well, that's how it feels if it's like, oh, we have a headphone jack. Now we're going to remove the headphone jack and get you to buy a little adapter that you have to plug in so that you can plug headphones in. And also you can't charge at the same time.
No, I see what you're saying, but I don't know that I would like, because it's a good analogy you gave, but I don't know that I'd liken it to steel. I'd probably liken it to Okay, IKEA and Bunnings.
Yes. Yeah.
Right? The home DIY kind of
DIY,
scene, right? Imagine IKEA today said, we're getting rid of screws. Not a single person is going to use screws from today on. It'll be magnetic interlocks. It'll be, I don't know, bolts. It'll be nuts.
Yeah.
It won't be screws.
Won't be screws, yeah.
Right? Now, you as a customer say, all right, cool. Like, it doesn't bother me that much. I don't have screws at home. I don't use them. I don't care that they're making a product that doesn't have screws. I'll buy their thing. Someone who goes to Bunnings may want to create something a lot more versatile. Like, they might want to create, I don't know what people at Bunnings create. I'm not a builder, as you hear. But that's what I liken it to. It's like Apple's this platform that's decided to build.
They try and make everything simpler and elegant and
wireless,
in a special way. Yeah.
Because remember, we were complaining about the Magic Mouse.
Yeah.
To this day, they haven't changed that. They can, because you know how it has the charger at the bottom.
Yes.
But their whole thing is just they don't want any of their computers to look like they're connected to anything.
Yeah.
They want everything wireless. So it's for the customer willing to buy into that platform. Are they really? Because I don't see Apple like forcing them to take their money.
No.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's where it's like tough, because I understand what Apple's doing, and I questioned the no headphones thing at first, but now I understand it. I'm like, yeah, dude, I love AirPods with like wireless transfer. I love AirDrop from my phone to my laptop.
Yeah. To
my iPad, like that just works seamlessly.
Yeah, I think that's like, I like Apple because it's so interconnected. Like if I have a friend who has an iPhone, I can just like transfer things over and whatever.
Yeah.
And like I like how everything looks elegant and everything looks like sleek and whatnot.
Yeah.
But sometimes I get frustrated that there's not as much.
It doesn't play as well with other systems, right?
Yeah, it doesn't play as well with other systems, and it's like it's a bit finicky when you're trying to do something a little bit more complicated.
Yeah, exactly.
And so I'm like, well, I'm sort of stuck between two places, because I was like, I've used a Samsung phone and I don't like how janky it gets.
Exactly.
But I do like some of the versatility.
And by the way, like I actually share that sentiment, because it's like with iPad. I hate how they won't make it like a computer.
Yeah.
They know how well that'll do. And they purposely each year address it, but don't address it.
Oh, yeah, because they came out with the keyboard thing.
It's a computer, but it's not a computer. Yeah. What are you saying,
And you can
Apple?
move the thing, you can move the trackpad, but then like it doesn't like open web browsers in it.
You can't use Final Cut Pro. You can't use Adobe After Effects, any of those things. Like, you can. We know that you're using the same chip in the laptop as you are in the iPad. Like, you know what I mean? So, looking at that, I just go, okay, like, they're purposely limiting their products because they don't want to cannibalize all their things, and they're supposed to work within an environment. But if you take like a bird's eye view and see that that's what they're doing, and you still buy into it, that's what you should accept as like, oh, this is a consequence of buying into Apple. Same thing as if I go into like, I used to have Samsungs. I loved their phones, but after like a year, the battery life just went really funny. And
I love iPhone battery life.
Right?
It's great.
It's amazing. Snapchat on Samsung started looking funny after a while. I'm like, what
the camera speed of an iPhone, I'm like, that's great. It just takes pictures instantly.
Because there's like one phone to optimize for Snapchat each year.
Yeah.
With Android phones, you got to do for the LG, the HTC, the Motorola. What are we talking about?
And just Android camera quality is so like, it's just like laggy. Exactly. I don't know why it is. Yeah. But it's like, it's just
what
so
it
different.
is, right? But then there's the accessibility to the Google Play Store.
Yeah.
That's amazing. You can just make an app and
heaps of apps, heaps of
put it up there.
And a lot of like, it's one of those weird things where it's like, it's a very free market, sort of like the Wild West. Because if you find like the perfect little store that's in the Wild West at this one town in the middle of nowhere, you're like, this thing looks crap, but it's actually amazing.
It works really great. And it might just be an app for like 10 people in the world, but like it's yours. But Apple's not that.
Apple's not that. They just have all the sellouts and all the like. If there's a game that's like really weird and like full of ads and stuff, but it makes money, they'll have that on there.
Yeah, exactly.
And they'll approve like some weird like child run 3 where you have to run through the thing and you create and whatever. It's like times 3.
Exactly.
Like those really weird games that you see ads for on Instagram.
Like, but like Apple does a thing too. It strikes me, and it sounds bad, but it's like it strikes me as they do a thing to a standard, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Whereas you can say that
anyone in.
Exactly. Whereas you can say that with like the individual phone companies, like a Samsung, like I guess LG.
LG, yeah.
But everybody else is so far behind them, it's crazy. Like Samsung's really the only other company that can compete with.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. Or like Google Pixel.
Google Pixel's been doing
They're doing well, yeah.
And even, was it One? What's that one? Do you know what I'm talking about? OnePlus.
OnePlus, yeah.
Yeah. OnePlus, they do really well as well, and like the competitive prices and stuff like that. So, like, with that art, like with them, with the EU saying that, you know, USB-C should be the thing, I get it. Because it's like, here's
every other phone uses it.
Every other phone uses it. But why should that dictate how Apple does it? They've very clearly created like a platform going in their own direction, and their stuff, Apple makes devices that play well with themselves, and then they choose who they decide to let play well with them.
But like, it does seem a bit weird that the iPhone is the only Apple product now at this point in this generation that doesn't use USB-C. Yeah. Because the iPad Pro, I'm pretty sure the regular iPad now is using USB-C. Or do they still use Lightning?
Yeah, well, I don't know what the generations are, but
the current generation of iPad Pro definitely uses Lightning. Yeah. Sorry, USB-C.
Yeah.
Doesn't use Lightning.
Yeah.
The MacBook has been using Lightning for a couple of years now.
Exactly. Well, that's because of this the iPad is a computer, but not a computer thing, right? It's like, this is this device's purpose, right? And with the iPad, it's a computer, but not real. That's its own thing. I get frustrated. It pisses me off.
Well, I'm tossing up between like, do I buy a Mac computer, like an Apple laptop? Because I've had one before for my work that I did a couple of years back, and it was like what I was saying before, like elegant and sleek and whatever.
Yeah.
But I found it so frustrating to find things because I'm so used to Windows. I'm so used to the user friendliness for me because I grew up with it.
Yeah.
And so like as the price point is a real turnoff for me.
Yeah.
I'm like, the MacBook is so much more expensive than just buying a Windows laptop.
There are trade-offs, man, because it's like, there's that, but think of how many MacBook Airs you see people with today, like from 2011 that are still functioning.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
longevity and
you know, because it's like this limited access to what you can use on their devices.
But I think I want to be able to do a lot with my laptop. Like if I have a laptop, I'm like, well, I want to be able to play games on it. And MacBooks are notoriously horrible at running games and do not have any like functionality.
No.
They don't run exe files. Like that. The fact that they don't run exe files is just like.
But then exe files, once upon a time, probably even today, that's how a lot of viruses were getting.
Well, yeah, that's true, and that's probably why they had that ad back in the like mid 2000s, where like PCs always get viruses, but Apples never get viruses.
Apples never get. Oh, I remember those ads. Yeah.
I always found that stupid because I was like, you can get a virus. People will make viruses for computers. People don't make computers against viruses.
But that's like the thing that I understand and sort of don't understand with the EU thing. Sorry, that I support and don't support, because it sounds to me like the rest of the phone companies have made a platform so that they play well amongst each other.
Yeah.
But Apple said, no, we don't want to play well with you guys. If you want to play well with us, then we'll invite you and like you ask us, but we're making our own thing here. Our devices are just supposed to work with us, which. Yeah. Come to think of it, like, I don't know, it sounds nefarious, but they haven't done anything bad so far. The only frustrating thing has been the iPad. I'll never shut up about the iPad thing.
I mean, like, to an extent, the headphone jack thing is a bit frustrating. Because it's like, hey, buy this adapter. And it comes with a phone.
It comes with a phone. It was when it started.
Yeah.
But then you buy like a device that they make their devices really well. It sounds like I'm an apologist for them now. So, but like I'm just bought into like, let's call it the dark side. Before
like the aesthetic of an Apple product, it looks pretty.
It's even just like the functionality. Like if you care about always having maximum audio quality when you're listening to music, so you only want to use the best headphones that you plug into your phone, right? If that can even deliver that, then you use a device that has a headphone jack. But for Apple, it's like, no, all I really need to do is like, I need to take calls. Every now and again, I want to watch a video, watch a movie. I need decent audio. Buy some AirPods. Yeah. Like that does 80% of the job, and I don't even have to worry about it. I've had my AirPods for like 3 years now. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like I can't tell you how many times I replaced just like the plug-in headphones. Do you know what I mean?
You have to replace it every
You pay like $20-$30 if you replace them 10 times in that 3 years, which isn't unlikely. Yeah. I used to replace mine a lot. So, you know, that kind of adds up. You lose them. The AirPods is like, no, it's just hold them and then keep them forever. You don't even think about having to like.
And I'm surprised like how well they stay in your ears, like they don't like go anywhere.
Yeah. And so that's why it's like with this one, it's like tough because you understand what the EU is trying to do, trying to get all the devices to play well together. Yeah. But you're forcing Apple into a game that they didn't want to play in the first place.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah. Oh, mate, there's so much stuff. I'm sorry. I'm conscious of time.
No.
But did you hear about the Taronga Zoo, the lions escaping?
That's crazy. They, what do you call it? What happened with that story? Did they just leave their cages?
I don't know like how it happened, but the lions just escaped from their exhibit, and then a few hours later, they had been tranquilized and returned to the cage.
Okay.
But like it was all over the news, it was everywhere.
And they were open that same day as well. They said,
they were open. Everyone had to evacuate, and well, not evacuate. They had to like have a lockdown in the zoo.
There you go. Yeah,
and everyone had to be like hiding and stuff. And then eventually they got tranquilizers. Police were on the scene, but they didn't have to do anything because the zoo staff
having been
had the tranquilizers and did that.
I want to say like basically face to face with a lion. Like if there was a cage. Yeah. But I was still face to face with it. That is one scary animal, my friend. That I don't know. Imagine. Like, you know how like you can just there's something that'll inflict fear in you instantly. There is, for me, it's the ocean. Yeah. The ocean just inflicts fear in me, and like the big cats, bears, but of the big cats. I've never seen a tiger. I imagine they would do the same thing because it's actually probably even more dangerous. But just a lion, just my spirit isn't right, bro. I'm just sat there looking at like I'm dead.
You're dead. Yeah. No. Jeez. One of my favorite things, as much as it was like it's a scary thing to go through, people really milked it for memes on Twitter.
Oh, did they?
And so. There's this one.
Oh, jeez. Alex the lion.
Yeah, Alex from Madagascar.
Alex the lion.
They're like exclusive footage from Taronga Zoo, and it's a lion from Madagascar.
Hey, what if they procreated whilst they were out?
Oh, that would be interesting.
Just one or two little lions roaming around that we don't know of.
I don't think that would have happened.
No, because they would have been pregnant and everything.
And then there was this one, let's be real, we all know the culprits of who did the lion escape. And it's got the penguins from Madagascar.
That's awesome. The penguins.
Yeah, jeez. That's great. Smile and wave.
Smile and wave, boys. Smile and wave. Yeah. Kowalski. Dude, that's awesome.
Analysis.
I'd be freaked out, man. Like, can you imagine if that was you?
I would be terrified. I'd be like, wait, there's what on the list?
What do you mean?
What do you mean? How did they get out?
How did this happen?
Where are they?
Who's the manager?
Hide.
What are we doing?
Call the manager of the zoo.
That would freak me out, man. That or gorilla. Can you just imagine how
it'd be like terrifying
seeing that face to face?
Mate.
That's one creature you don't want to
mess with. Oh, man. Yeah. Because if it's like so unpredictable, it's like this gorilla has just come up to you, you're like, what are you doing? What's going on? Hey, man. Do you want something from me?
Can I help you?
Can I help you?
Its strength is so insane.
It could just pummel you.
Harambe.
Yeah.
And, dude, like, because there's a Instagram page I watch right now called Nature is Metal. And it just shows you, like, I don't want to say the worst of nature. It's just, it shows you nature.
Like the most reality. Intense parts. Yeah. Probably. Or like the real intense
just the reality of it.
Yeah.
My goodness, man. Like, we had 2 kids in Camden, Southwest Sydney. We don't have to, we're not in nature right now.
Yeah.
We're calm. And technically in Australia as well, like the worst animal we have to worry about is a kangaroo.
Kangaroo, yeah.
They're relatively peaceful.
Yeah. They usually lay around.
Yeah, just lay around. I had one follow me the other day.
Oh, really?
The gardens. The other day, I say. It was last year.
Oh, right.
I was just walking at the gardens. and like, I'm walking down, like, the bike path.
Yeah.
And I turn around because I have my earphones in. And I, like, turn around. And it's just stood there.
It's just...
Big one.
Standing, yeah.
It's just looking at me. It's maybe, like, 20, 30 meters away. But it's on a path. So it's just looking at me. So I think
you say anything?
I walk further up. And then I see, like, its little ones kind of walk.
Oh.
And then it starts, like, jumping towards me. But every time I, like, turn around, it stops. Dude, I didn't know what to do. I was like, am I going to have to fight a kangaroo? What are we doing here?
Well, if you did, you'd lose. Those things are strong.
Yeah, those things are strong. I mean, I like my jiu-jitsu is good, but I don't know how it is against the kangaroo, man.
Oh, mate. Yeah.
Pull guard.
Are you one of those people that, like, if you see, like, an animal, do you talk to the animal?
No. That's insane. That's insanity to me.
Do you?
Oh, actually, yes.
Well, dogs.
No, I do.
You talk to dogs.
Oh my gosh. No, I do.
But you talk in your normal voice. A lot of people will use a baby voice.
Nah, none of my...
Hello.
I talk to them like they understand. Like,
like Rain.
I'll like just talk to her as if she could understand. Rain, what are you doing? What is this? Why are you jumping on me?
Yeah.
I do, man, I don't... Let's explore that psychology for a second. Do you talk to an animal?
Like when I see my cats, I'll be like, hello.
Hey, are you going to baby voice?
I'll be like, hey, buddy, how's it going?
See? So you put them at ease. They don't feel, you don't feel like like you're at conflict or anything.
No. My dad is someone who, the reason I asked is because my dad's someone who, like, finds it really silly and, like, sort of, like, embarrassing. Or, I don't know, like, he takes it very seriously. And, like, if he talks to them, he'll just be like, come on, Jeggy.
Yeah, gotcha.
Come on, Neko. It's dinner time.
That's how I do it. Yeah,
but he doesn't like talking to them. He finds it really weird that my mum talks to them.
Yeah,
she's
always
like, dinner, come on, dinner.
No, I'm the same, I think. Yeah, because it's like they will understand you with or without the voice, right?
Yeah, well, if you use the same word every time, it's like you don't have to put on the voice.
All right, we're having dinner now. You want some chicken? You want some asparagus? We got some asparagus.
Yeah.
No, I understand that. That's interesting. No, because I'm just thinking of every time
you've interacted with
I've interacted with an animal, if I've spoken to it, it's been in my normal voice.
Yeah.
One time, so when we go back to, when we visit back home,
I
stay at my uncle's place, and one time he has chickens at the back.
Right.
And like, if they're laying eggs, it's really good. You go out there and you grab some eggs, you make yourself a breakfast, right? But the chickens, I don't know if you've encountered them when they're laying eggs.
No.
Vicious things, man.
Right. Okay.
Just some vicious stuff. It's personal with them. Which makes sense. I'm stealing your baby. But you go up there, like, I would always wait because I thought, the chicken's going to walk out. Like, they're not going to be guarding their eggs. But that's not the case. Like, they sit on those eggs.
Yeah.
So what my cousin used to do, she was just confident. She'd come in, pick the chicken up, and she'd grab the eggs. And, like, hold the chicken, that walk away, the whole thing. I thought, wow, simple enough, I'd do it.
Yeah.
Dude, I think
to do it.
Chickens can sense fear. I go to pick this thing up, but I'm unsure. My hand is like, I'm looking like I'm about to choke it almost. And like I'm shaking. When I grab it, I'm doing it too slow.
Oh no.
When I do it just flaps its wings and start doing, and you know when feathers are going all over the place and it's like in a small little like cage, you're like, oh, what's going on? Flabbergasted. What are we doing? Stops making that cluck sound. We're like, what are we doing? Get me out of here. I'm locked in. I don't know how to get out. The it's doing all this. It's scratching you and stuff like that. I open. I'm falling over everything, running into bushes. I'm not good with animals. But I respect them now even more than ever.
Fair.
Hence why I speak to them in just normal
Speak to
voice.
them like an adult.
Just an adult.
Yeah,
they understand you, man.
Yeah. Oh, mate. Fair enough. I'm just trying to... Interesting fact, right? We'll sort of talk about some celebrity type stuff.
Yeah.
And like entertainment. Westworld was cancelled.
Dang.
Sad times.
Dang.
You were talking about how much you love dystopias.
I didn't finish season 1.
I haven't seen any of it, but I've heard that it's very good. Very dystopia.
Yeah.
Type stuff. And it got cancelled in
I think it's just interesting because it's like I said before, like someone's interpretation of what a dystopia looks like. Westworld is it's a dystopia unlike really they play on this concept of like fake reality merging with real life kind of thing.
Oh, that's weird.
In my time watching it, that was the take that I got from it. But obviously I didn't get to the end of the season.
Right.
So I didn't step out far enough to go like, oh, this is what's happening.
Yeah.
I would just see like, maybe it's a spoiler, but it's like I'd see a character in the simulation.
Right.
And then I'd see them outside of it as well. Like, oh, so what's going on here? Like what, like.
Yeah, that's confusing.
How is this working? But it's kind of like, you know how you have like those, do you play Switch?
I've played it before, yeah.
You know how you have like those, they're like the physical models of characters, and then you can like put them
amiibos,
on your amiibos, yeah. Like it's kind of like that kind of thing.
Right.
That's the best way I can, that's how I came to interpret it in the end. It's like, oh, so this is kind of like an amiibo.
Interesting.
Yeah. No, but it was a good show, season 1. From what I'd seen in the reviews, the rest of the seasons weren't amazing.
Like they've sort of gone downhill a little.
But everyone says that about shows. Every show, they'll rate, I didn't like this. Like Yellowstone, people didn't like season 3. They love season 4. I don't watch people's review, like, did I like it, did I not like it sort of thing. I watch summaries, synopses and stuff.
Yeah, okay. I get you.
So I don't know if it was good or bad, but sad news.
Yeah, and also... I know we're both sad about this. Henry Cavill left The Witcher, and they recast Liam Hemsworth as the new Geralt of Rivia.
So you have how did you say you want this to play out with Liam Hemsworth? Okay, so I said I don't mind that so long as Liam Hemsworth is not Geralt.
Yeah. I agree.
You know what I mean? Go completely off the source material, but kind of base it off of it.
Yeah. So I was at the gym actually when I found out.
Look at you.
I was on the treadmill. And they have I go to the same gym.
Yeah.
And they have the TVs in front of the treadmills.
Yeah.
And then I saw like the like subtitles come up saying like the text transcript.
Right.
And it was like Liam Hemsworth takes over The Witcher for season 4.
Yeah.
And I'm like going, what? I was thinking in my head, I'm like, wait, so does that mean Liam Hemsworth is going to be the new lead of the show The Witcher as a different Witcher, or does that mean he's going to be Geralt? Because Henry Cavill is Geralt. He's the only Geralt. He's my Geralt.
Yep. He's my Geralt. Sound like that musician guy. I forgot his name.
It's like not my president.
That's right. But no, like, however they choose to play this, I hope it's Liam Hemsworth is some kind of other character.
Yeah. The other thing that I was thinking was it might work if Liam Hemsworth is playing a younger version of Geralt. If it's like he's like teenage Geralt and he's being trained, and we go back and see like what his life was like when he was being trained. Because we do meet Geralt in the Witcher, the anime cartoon thing, the
on Netflix.
Thing, that one on Netflix. Like we meet him as a kid.
Oh, really? I haven't watched that.
Like right at the end.
Yeah.
The guy that we follow in the story, which is a different Witcher, and still Witcher content. We follow him through the story, and then he's like starting his own school, and we find out that it's I forgot the name of the guy who runs the school.
Yeah.
That taught Geralt.
I know who you're talking
those
about.
Guys. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he speaks to Geralt, and then you see the camera switch to him, and he's like a little kid. But he says Geralt's name.
Yeah, okay.
So I'm like, well, if you picked up from, like in season 4, if you picked up on that and went, okay, let's explore Geralt as a young man, like maybe that would be good. But like, I don't think, just in terms of like practicality, Henry Cavill looks older. I don't know who's older out of the two of them.
They're like roughly the same age.
Roughly the same age.
Yeah.
But like in terms of like facial features and like looking a certain age, like Henry Cavill looks older than Liam Hemsworth does.
But Liam Hemsworth, okay, they're not roughly the same. It's like 8 years difference.
8 years different.
Liam Hemsworth.
Cavill's 8 years older?
I think so, because Hemsworth is 32, and I think Henry Cavill's like 40.
Yeah.
So. Also, is 39, so 39. 7 years.
Yeah, 7 years.
Liam Hemsworth is a considerably bigger man.
Oh, is he?
He's like 6'4". Really? He's the same height as his brother.
Oh, like higher, like taller.
He's taller, but he's like the same build as his brother. Maybe slightly leaner. But like, look up Liam Hemsworth.
Maybe I just haven't seen him in recent things.
He's
I've
not
always
a small
thought
human.
He's like
he was the original guy that was being cast for Thor.
Right.
Like he's not at all a small guy. So like, it's possible, but it's like.
But Henry Cavill's huge.
Yeah, but
look at him. Like look at the. He's
look at this guy, man.
But then
Liam Hemsworth. Look at this man. Look like he's on juice. I don't know if I can show you. I can't show you as much as I would.
Yeah, I've got that same picture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like,
I don't know.
He's also like 2-3 inches taller. Liam Hemsworth like 6'5". So unless you're saying he was the same size at 18, but he grew 3-4 inches shorter by the time he was 40. Do you know what I mean? It's like what? That makes sense, man. So he was, and in The Witcher,
he's like 140 years old or something.
There you go. Oh, okay. So maybe that
it doesn't make sense for a Witcher because they age longer.
Okay, yeah, there you go.
Because like 140 is a young Witcher,
and then here's you getting shorter as well. What's with that?
Yeah,
6'5" to 6'1". That doesn't make any sense.
That's true. That's true. But movie magic, like Robert Downey Jr. as a human being and Tony Stark are different heights. I'm pretty sure.
Isn't he like 6 foot?
No, he's fairly short, or average height, like 5'6". Yeah, or 5'8".
He's like 5'9".
Oh, 5'9".
Yeah.
Okay, he's almost 6 foot. Oh wait, 5'9" is
like 3 inches off
5'12" is 6. Yeah. 12 inches in a foot.
Yes. Yeah.
Imperial system. Am I right? Yeah, I'm sad about Henry Cavill leaving The Witcher. Like, I wish that they could have agreed more, because they're saying the reason why he left is because of like differences in where they wanted to take the story.
Do you think he comes back?
I don't think he'll come back, because if they listened to him and like kept it true to the original text, like I reckon it'd be good, because like he knows it well, and if the writers aren't going to base their story on the story that they're basing it on, it's like it seems a bit like far-fetched, you know. But I don't know, I haven't read it, so I don't know if maybe The Witcher is just not very good in terms of like content to read. Maybe the books aren't actually as great as
I've never read it, so I couldn't tell you. I was introduced to it through Netflix, and to be fair, that's how a lot of the series I like. That's how it goes. Like Mandalorian, I have no idea. Like when I say There's people in this world who have no idea about Star Wars.
Yeah. You don't even know which one's Trek and Wars.
Dog, they meshed into one for me. Who the Vader? I know the Vader, and I know Darth Vader, and I know Captain Kirk. Is that his name? Captain Kirk?
Captain Kirk is in Star Trek.
There you go. That's the Star Trek.
Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Star Trek?
Star Wars.
Star Wars. It's different world for me.
Yeah.
But I liked Mandalorian. That was really fun.
Yeah.
I enjoyed myself watching Mandalorian.
I think those little isolated stories are good because it's like you don't have to be invested in
correct
all of this stuff.
Yeah.
Also, did you hear about the thing about Alex Jones? There was a ruling that he had to like pay back a whole lot of money to the Sandy Hook families.
So I think he
got sued for defamation.
Yeah, I think it was
class action lawsuit.
That's right. But I just reading up on it, I think it's like he wouldn't have had to pay that. It's like whatever the resolve was, he just wouldn't have had to pay that money.
Right.
It's because he'd probably take it further to court or something like that.
So he doesn't have to pay it, or if they hadn't sued him, he wouldn't.
My understanding is that he doesn't have to pay it. Reasons why I don't know.
Oh, interesting.
But yeah,
there was a ruling that he owes a certain amount of money.
That's exactly right. Yeah, he's been ordered to pay the victims of Sandy Hook nearly $1 billion. Oh no, but to be fair, this is from 2 weeks ago. The thing I read was like a while back.
A while back. Okay.
Yeah.
So maybe the verdict changed or something, like the ruling.
I think it was like a separate. This is
maybe it was
beyond
a separate,
me.
Separate case.
This one is beyond me. And worst case, like he files for bankruptcy. I would think it's like, I don't know because I'm not a financial expert, but like he'd move all his assets into a trust where he owns nothing, and he'd file for bankruptcy, and
then he wouldn't have to pay for it anyway. Yeah, it sucks.
I don't know. I'm not a financial expert. Like to me, it's like maybe that's what he'd do unless he'd challenge this in court or something.
Some honorable mentions since I'm thinking about time. So the Nobel Prizes were announced.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. I didn't write down any of them because there were a lot of them.
Yeah.
But pretty interesting. They've been announced, but they don't get awarded until the end of the year, I think.
Right.
So that's interesting. I guess like later in later episodes I'll probably talk about some of the interesting ones if anyone's discovered something particularly like fathomable.
Okay.
Like if someone's discovered an extra type of cell in the genus Quarterius mollosa, whatever.
Yeah.
It's just like
I came across a video.
Oh no.
That is, it shook me to my core.
Oh no.
Yeah. No, but Nobel Prizes, eh?
Yeah, Nobel Prizes have been announced, so we might look into one or two of those if they're worthy of both understanding and interest.
Yeah.
And did you know that Taylor Swift released a new album?
Sure.
Yeah, she released a new album this month.
What's it called?
It's called Midnights.
Oh. What's it about? I don't listen to Taylor Swift. I don't know what
It's about, I don't know. She's got this one called The Anti-Hero. But the interesting thing is that she became the first US artist to claim all 10 slots, top 10 slots in the US Billboard Hot 100.
What?
With tracks from her new album.
Taylor.
So all of the top 10
is Taylor Swift
in the Billboard Hot 100
from the same album
are from her new album, or at one point. She's the first artist, at least American artist, to have that.
Okay, Tay-Tay.
Yeah.
Jeez.
It's pretty crazy. It's like, wow, geez.
That's just one of those random things like you wouldn't expect from her, you know? It's like, yeah. Top 10 is Taylor Swift. I
actually saw this video. It was
What What did you see? What did you see?
It was like, so you know the 1975?
No.
Have you heard of them?
No.
They're a band.
Okay.
Lots of people love them.
Yeah.
And so there was this like reel that I saw on Instagram, and it was like, wow, we got a Taylor Swift album a week after the 1975. We really are blessed.
Jeez.
Say this if you want to get a girlfriend instantly tonight.
Oh my god.
I'm like, what the heck?
Yeah, no, this is a different world, man.
I don't know. Because apparently the 1975 are like a band that like every girl loves. Like they're so obsessed with it. And the Taylor Swift, every girl loves Taylor Swift too. Yeah. So, yeah.
Yeah, no, that's man.
So dumb.
Yeah, great.
But then there was like, you know how people can like, they get the video and then they like react or like stitch, quote unquote. It was like, he said that, and then the other guy, he's like got a piece of paper and he's at his computer and he's like reading it and he's like, wow, we got a Taylor Swift album a week after the 1975. We really are blessed.
Oh my gosh.
Is this working?
Oh my goodness.
I was like, oh my gosh.
I'm a fan of that song. See
what song is that? Oh, You Belong With Me.
You Belong With Me. That's the one.
Let's see if I can find a song that you would know from the 1975. Oh, drop petticoats, and we're never gonna get it. No, we're never gonna get it. No,
I don't even know.
That's a song by them. I think it's called Chocolate.
Yeah, right.
Anyway.
Yeah, I don't know Chocolate.
Chocolate by the 1970s. I'm pretty sure it's by them. If it's not, I'm gonna get hate by our one listener.
Chocolate, eh? Yeah, good for them.
Yeah, I feel like that's all of the news and stuff that I had, or I don't know.
No, that's
the content. I feel like today's been a pretty solid episode. We went longer than we were expecting to.
Hey, no, it was a good episode nonetheless, you know?
Yeah.
Anything going on with you? Anything you want to share? Where can people find us?
Well, while I look for the thing, can you fill for time?
Yeah. I mean,
tell us.
I'd like to tell you about the World Cup that's upcoming.
Yes. Tell us all about it.
As someone who is going to see a good amount of games, a good amount of matches.
How many matches are you seeing, Prosper?
Three matches.
3 matches.
Yeah, all of them in the. They're not like the qualifying.
Right. So they haven't been decided. Obviously,
I think I can say what it's. Yeah, exactly. It's.
Who do you reckon is going to be in those?
Well, Mr. Schmidt, let me tell you about who I believe.
Yeah.
So every year, the national teams, you like to observe, their performances and such. And
yeah,
I've come to the conclusion that Brazil's team is big time. Brazil's team is big time. Yeah. Argentina.
They're well known for soccer, yeah.
Argentina.
Sorry, football. Sorry.
Yes. I don't know this.
Argentina.
I don't know this soccer business.
I don't know what
Never heard of it.
Never heard of it. Argentina, well known for soccer.
Fantastic team.
Football.
They have the best player of all time, and it's going to be his final
Who's the
World
best
Cup.
player of all time, Prosper?
Lionel Messi.
Ooh,
He's not my favorite player of all time, though he is one of, but he is the best.
Sometimes the preferences that we have do get a little bit messy.
Moving on from that dad joke.
Anyway, yeah. Let's move on.
So Messi.
Yeah, Messi. Yeah.
I believe Argentina will do well. France is always a team to watch out for because their lineup is very strong.
Who are their well-known players?
Kylian Mbappe. You got Paul Pogba, but he is injured, so he will not be playing.
Paul.
Rafael Varane.
I think I've heard of Varane. Varane or Varane?
Varane. Varane.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Varane.
Yeah, Varane.
Yeah.
who's their best? Ousmane Dembele, Samuel Umtiti. They got a decent lineup going. Oh, Antoine Griezmann. Yeah, I'm just trying to think of real impactful players.
Yeah.
That they have on their team. They have a solid team. They're the ones who won the last World Cup.
I only found out who Pele was
the other day,
like a few months ago.
He was. I bet you it's like your parents would know him.
Yeah,
and
maybe
the football community.
My parents, as soon as they see sport on the TV, my dad will just like change the channel.
Really,
not really care about it. My mum will be like, "Sports."
Man, all right.
So that's why I've never really got sports, because I was conditioned to have a negative response, and I've had to like unlearn that response to get to a like
neutral,
sort of like neutral. Yeah.
No, I understand that. No, for me, it's like, I don't know what it's like sports, like entertainment. Like I remember when came back from school, we'd have like normal TV, and like what was on satellite was English Premier League.
Right. Okay.
You know, FA Cup, like the old stuff. Yeah. And there was, you know, like just American television and stuff like that. But those are the ones that I watched. And naturally, it's like everybody plays football. So it's like, that's the one I have a big inclination to. I had to grow to like baseball and American sports. They're slower sports. And it's more of an, like, I don't mean it in a bad way, but it is more of there's more of an entertainment factor to it than just sports.
What about, like, you follow basketball a lot as well.
Yeah.
Was that something that sort of came naturally to you?
Basketball is, like, the sports that are accessible were like basketball and football. But we never played basketball back home. I played basketball in high school here.
Yeah. It's a massive, Australian high schools full of,
everybody likes
like,
basketball.
Yeah.
Exactly. But
I picked me and the ball.
Yeah, the ball.
Me and the boys playing ball.
Yep.
Yeah, just saying.
But no, me and my friends, like, we had like a group that we kind of bonded over basketball, but that was in like year 9 when we liked it, and then year 10, year 11, year 12. But yeah, like since then, it's definitely a top 4 sport for me. I don't know that it's. Nah, it's not number 2.
No, what would be number 2?
I don't have an answer.
That's hard. Okay.
No, it's either baseball or UFC. Like UFC specifically. MMA is good, but UFC specifically. Just watching it, right?
Yeah. Oh, mate. I think the world of sports is so big that, like, it's almost like me trying to explain to you, like, how the Star Wars universe works, and then, like, you're like, I don't get it.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, but it's so simple. It's like if someone tried to explain to me, oh, like, this is why UFC is so great.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure if I spent the time to, like, go and watch it and be like, oh, wow, like, this is the technique, this is how they do it, this is how everything works. Right. Like, I've had the same experience with the gym. Okay. Because whenever, like, someone like Nathan or Vincent would explain stuff, before I started going, I'd be like, yeah, whatever, like, muscle groups, whatever, I don't get it.
Until you, working on them.
Yeah, when I started actually working on them, like oh, so when when I work 2 major muscle groups on the same day, I'm going to be in a lot of pain the next day. Yep. So I need to, like, be strategic. And,
no, I feel that.
Yeah. So you were saying, sorry. Yeah.
No, I was just saying, like, I feel that with Star Wars and stuff. It's like, I just haven't found a character or like an intrigue that pulls me in. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, enough. I'm sure if I knew what was at stake and I related to it in some kind of way, this is pretty interesting. Yeah. It's just, it hasn't appealed to me. I haven't been interested in that sort of thing. But yeah, man. Dude, sports is just fun. I recommend.
I love playing sports.
Oh, yeah. Playing sports is even better. Football is the best one. There's nothing like football.
Yeah, I feel like I never get the chance to play because you have to have, like, a field. Whereas out the front of our church, it's just like there's a hoop. Yeah, you can just shoot.
Well, it's like you can just juggle. You can juggle.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Take a ball. If you don't have a ball, you just piece of
paper. It takes a lot of skill. Yeah, like I when I was working as a chaplain, like it was so fun just like learning how to play football because it's like I'd play and they're like, oh, do you want to play soccer, Mr. Smith?
Yeah.
And you're like, yeah, sure, let's play. Like, yeah.
No, but it's like the fun is not necessarily in you like knowing how to do it. Yeah, it's like you play and you learn a little bit and you're sore the next day, but then you play it again the next day and you're like, oh, I got this much better. And I don't know, it's just fun.
So you were saying about the predictions for the World Cup.
Oh yeah, I think. So
you said France and Brazil and Argentina.
Yeah, I have dark horses. I have Netherlands and Belgium. Netherlands have the best center back. As a talent, if you ask me, of all time, in Virgil van Dijk. He also plays for Liverpool. They have Memphis Depay.
And did you say England?
England. Oh, dude, England has a strong squad. In theory, probably even... I don't want to say they're the best squad, but they just have a strong squad. And each year you've heard the song, It's Coming
Yeah,
Home.
It's Coming Home.
It's coming. Yeah. So that's because in the Euros, England wants to win that. And they're basically like...
Yeah, one of my friends at Mainfreight used to be like,
It's coming
home like every week. And then when I found out that England, it didn't come home, I was like, hey, James, it didn't come home. And he's like, oh, mate, shut up, mate.
Yeah, I get pissed off. They're a fun team to troll because their team is like, so the players that play on those teams play on the best teams in the world.
Yeah.
Harry Kane plays for Tottenham. What's his name? Raheem Sterling now plays for Chelsea. Used to play for City and just all those kinds of things. Like
City is
Manchester City.
Okay,
yeah. Their teams are the best in the world. Like outside of like the two right now, which will probably be Real Madrid and Bayern Munich, those teams are the best in the world. Just untouchable.
If I've heard of the team, then it's probably good. I've heard of Real Madrid.
You've heard of Real Madrid. That's because it's like Champions League. Yeah, they won them.
Yeah.
Exactly. But yeah, England just has amazing players.
Yeah.
Like the expensive ones are coming from England and Brazil and places like that. But they just don't win it, damn it. So they get trolled really good.
Who do you want to win the World Cup?
I want an African team to win the World Cup.
Yeah, fair.
France, that's why France was like so big, because it felt like Africa won it. Because like a bunch of those players, they're like, oh, I'm from Congo, I'm from Senegal, like whatever country they came from, they immigrated.
Like although they lived in France for a certain amount of time, and they're like working for the French team, it's like it's still like
it felt like Africa won.
Yeah, they're African.
Yeah,
like,
but it's
that's their home, that's their like background, and so it's like almost like a victory for two
continents sort of thing, country and continents, I guess. But it's like as like. Because an African team has never won the World Cup. There's been one that's come close.
Right, okay.
In the 90s, Algeria, I believe it was.
Right,
but no, like we haven't won at all. So I would like an African team to win. I don't even care East, West. It's not going to be East because none of us have qualified. It'll be West, but like them to win. If not them, Brazil. They're my next favorite team. So they're technically my first favorite international team, other than Tanzania. And then, this year. Okay, let me take everything back. This year alone, just for this year, I want Lionel Messi to win it.
Really? Okay.
Yeah,
you said Argentina.
Yeah. He's okay. Think of like just a guy who's won everything in the sport. Absolutely everything.
Because you said he's leaving, right?
This is his final World Cup. So he's played in 4, which means that for the last 16 years, he's played in World Cup. That's like a big thing, by the way. Because but 16 years he's been playing in the World Cup. The closest he got was in 2014. He made it to the finals.
Wow, okay.
And he lost. 1-0.
That would be a bummer.
Yeah, to the Germans, who scored like a last-minute goal.
Because if you don't qualify, it's like, okay, all good. But if you came that close, it's like...
It was right there, to the wire. When I tell you, it was like, it had to be, it was a substitution, and they lost 1-0 as well.
Oh, no.
So that hurt him. but he's won everything else. And so it's just one of those things where I and many other people call him the greatest player of all time because we think he is.
Yeah,
you can say
enough.
Pele. A lot of people say Messi versus Ronaldo. No, it's Messi. It's going to cause controversy, but it's Messi. If he wins this, there is no Ronaldo. There is no. It's Messi is the greatest of all time.
It clears all the debates.
Yeah, because he's won it, and like just the way that he plays is just it's amazing. I don't know if you've watched him play because I know you're not a
I haven't
big sports fan, but you know how you say football is hard.
Oh yeah,
it's like he.
I mean, the fact that that game was 1-0.
Yeah.
Like, so, that means that they're freaking working hard to like not.
Yeah. Well, I'd put it like this, right? Every player in the world, like their thing is like they want to be, they'd like to play. They learn to play with both feet. They learn to be physically strong, tall, jump really high, amazing passes and everything.
Probably a strong head too.
Messi is none of those. He's 5'6". Can't jump really high. He's short in stature and he's one-footed. He plays
one-footed.
Like he doesn't use his right foot. He's just a left-footed player. But the man is better than everyone. If you watch him play,
that's a mad
it is art. Hence why we think he's the greatest of all time. I'll leave it at that.
Yeah.
That's it.
Wow. That, to be honest, like, you're a really good hype man for... Because now I'm like, now I need to watch replays of him play.
At least the World Cup. 4 billion people tuned in last time.
4 billion.
4 billion people tuned in last time. Goodness. So you got to tune into this one.
That's like more than half of the world population.
Yeah. It'd be like close to roughly half now, wouldn't it?
Almost, yeah.
Maybe,
probably.
yeah. I don't know how many were.
I mean, 1 billion is a lot.
Yeah.
Like,
just to get
to just get from 7 billion to 8 billion.
Yeah. I should say 4 billion.
That's 1,000 times a million.
Yeah. Dude. Nah, but you got to watch this, man. Yeah. Like, even if it's just qualifying match, watch Australia's in it. So if you're interested in them, but the teams I mentioned, they'll slay.
For sure. Well, that sort of is that the show, Prosper?
I think that's it.
I think that's the show.
Dude.
So if you guys, people listening, that's you. Yes, you, the person who just said me,
Gerald,
me, the person, me,
you. Eve.
I'm listening to this podcast. Is that easy talking to me? Yes, I am talking to you, Gerald. Okay.
That's right. Stephen.
If you want to get in contact with us, we have an email.
Come on.
And that is smittyandpreezypod@gmail.com.
How do you spell the Smitty?
SMITTY. And the word and. It's fairly simple. And then Preezy is spelled PREEZY.
Come on.
And then pod, just POD. @gmail.com. We also have our Twitter, which is @LukeProsperPod. We have an Instagram, which is also Smitty and Preezy Pod. That's also our TikTok, but I haven't posted any videos on TikTok, so it's kind of pointless.
I don't even use TikTok.
You can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/Smitty and Preezy Pod. And our website is at shows.acast.com/the-quarterly-report.
Yeah.
That's a bit annoying because you got to put in the hyphens. But it's all in our bio on Instagram and everything. So if you can't find it, then you can just look there. But yeah, if you want to send us an email or send us a DM or something and just say hi or give us a suggestion or tell us some interesting news that you heard that you want us to share. Send it through there and we'll be sure to post stuff up and talk about it in our next episode.
Yeah. And thank you guys for listening. We know that we ramble for God knows how long, but we have fun.
Yeah, we have lots of fun.
We have fun. And it's like Luke said, if you have anything you want us to talk about, anything you want to fact check us on,
yes, please do.
Hey, just do it, man, because sometimes I'm giving you these hood statistics and I don't know how much of it is the truth, but
well, my friend once gave us at dinner the other night. My friend gave a statistic that was like, 1 in 4 people who overdose 1 in 4 people who use cocaine overdose.
Damn.
But then she sent me a message like a few days later. She's like, "Oh, actually, I got that wrong. It's 1 in 4 overdoses are cocaine users."
Oh,
so
that's
it's a very different, very different
statistic, man. You're talking about categories now.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
Geez. Yeah, right.
So if you want to fact check us, make sure that you send us a message or something as well. Yeah,
I'll guarantee you I've said something wrong. Guarantee.
Oh, probably. Me too.
But yeah.
Anyway,
thanks for listening.
Thank you, guys.
We'll see you when we see you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.